Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of my National League South predictions. So, it's the final day of the season tomorrow. Everything's going to be decided tomorrow. Playoffs, relegation, it's all going to be decided tomorrow. Just before I get into this, some breaking news just came through to say that Concord Rangers are not going to be able to take part in the playoffs due to their ground not having enough seats. They haven't got 500 seats, so it's a big blow for them, and I thought I'd just sympathise with them slightly. So, as a result of this, the team that finishes 4th will get automatically put through to the semi-finals. They're not going to extend it down to 8th, so everything will be decided tomorrow, including that thing. So let's get straight into the predictions. So the first game we have is Billericay Town against Bath City, and this is one of a few of massive games that could decide the playoffs. So Bath have already guaranteed a playoff spot, and in part it's helped that Concord aren't allowed to take place too. So Bath are definitely going to be in the playoffs. They could get that automatic 4th place to go through to the semi-finals. That'll be decided between either them or Chelmsford, so it'll be one of those two that go through. Concord will be effectively taking the 7th place team and not be taking part. So as for Billericay, they're going to desperately need a point as well, because win would just about do it for them, but there's so many permutations with the amount of teams in the playoffs. It's unbelievable who could get through and who can't. So yeah, Billericay currently sits 7th on 65, Bath 5th on 68. The last few games have been inconsistent-ish. Billericay, because they had a really sticky spell, then they won the last two, and they obviously lost at Dartford on Monday. Bath also have been going through a bit of a sticky spell, very inconsistent. Just one win over the last 5 games, and that obviously was on Monday against Oxford. And the last time these two sides met, earlier on the season, back in December, Billericay ran out 2-1 winners away at Chippenham Park. Wealdstone gave Bath nearly lead in the 9th minute, but Moses Emmanuel equalised in the 14th, and Sam Deering, the little magician, in the 71st minute, put Billericay 2-1 up, giving them all 3 points. As for my prediction for this game, it's a tricky one to call. Both sides aren't in amazing form. Billericay are slightly in the better form. Bath have been struggling off lately, and away from home they're meh-ish. They're not as strong as they are at home for sure. But I think this will be a draw for these two down teams. I think it'll be a 1-1 draw. Both sides will be going through it, and I think they'll cancel each other out. So they'll both have to settle for a 1-1 draw, but I suppose they'll be happy through it. The next game to take place between Chippenham Town and Chelmsford City. So Chippenham have nothing to play for, whilst in contrast their visitors have got a lot to play for. They still have a chance of getting that semi-final place now automatically due to Concord dropping out. So it is in their hands to finish 4th, but Bath will be hot on their shoulders if they do slip up. So they're going to need to get a good victory here. A tricky place to go, Chippenham. It's very tight and compact ground, and obviously they did just beat Torquay as well recently. So not going to be easy by any means at all for Chelmsford. But in contrast, Chippenham have lost 3 of their last 5, winning the other 2. So they're not in great form. But in contrast, Chelmsford have lost 4 of their last 5, so they're not in amazing form either. So you never know which way this game could go. Chelmsford have lost some silly games to teams like Wealdstone, lost to Welling as well. Whilst they are tricky games, they have had a tricky run-in, you have to be said. The last 5 games have had Torquay, St Albans, Chelmsford, Welling and Wealdstone. So it's been a Torquay, St Albans, Woking, Welling, Wealdstone, those are 5 games. So by no means is that an easy running at all. So to be fair to them, they have had a tricky run-in, but it's not sure whether they can bounce back or not. The last time these two sides met, back in November, earlier on this season, Chelmsford ran out 1-0 winners thanks to a goal from Tom Wright on the stroke of half-time, only goal of the game, and it was enough to give Chelmsford the 3 points. After this game, it's another more tricky one to call. I think Chelmsford will win this one. I think they'll be desperate to get that place. They'll be up for it mostly, and I think they'll run out 2-0 winners, fairly comfortable for them, it'll be in the end. The next game, which could have been massive for both teams, now means nothing for both teams, as Eastbourne, Borough and Concord, who face each other, and now have nothing to play for, as obviously Eastbourne secured their safety last time out, and Concord haven't heard the news today, now can't take them in the playoffs, so they've got nothing to play for now but pride. So this is a bit of an awkward one to call. You never know what could happen. Concord obviously sits 6th on 67, but they're going to finish 7th no matter what happens. And Eastbourne are in 18th place on 42 points, just about got enough to stay up this season, which is a bit unfortunate because they haven't won since January, so you never know what will happen. Eastbourne's form has to be said, it is pretty dire. Even after that 1-6-0 win against Dartford, they've not won since January. Concord has been in magnificent form, having won 4 of their last 5, only losing at home to Oxford City. And the last time these two sides met, back early on in this season, Concord ran out 3-0 winners thanks to a double from Jack Midson and also a goal from Nana Kiai, who actually was briefly unknown at Hampton, but he didn't do much for us then. But yeah, those goals were enough to give Hungerford an emphatic victory on Canvey Island and continue their propel up to the playoffs. But they're not really able to take part in it now. But despite this, I still think Concord will end the season strongly, and Eastbourne will end it rather sticky, in a sticky position. I think Concord ran up 3-1 winners in this away fixture, giving them definitely somewhat to cheer for, despite the fact they won't be able to take part in the playoffs. Next is one of the massive games down the bottom of the table as Hungerford go up against East Thurrock. So, had Hungerford not gone and won it late at Torquay, this game would have had a lot more meaning, as there would have been 3 teams in the shout of staying up. But now, obviously, Hungerford sent East Thurrock down, so it's just out of Hungerford and Truro. And should Hungerford win this, then they'll be safe, and it'll be out of Truro's hands no matter what they do. So, it's a tricky one to call, but going into form-wise, Hungerford's last 5 games, whilst they did start to pick up a lot of good results, but ever since they beat us, they've started to go inconsistent and downhill a little bit. Their last 4 games before the Hampton one was, after the Hampton one, sorry, was lost, draw and won. So it's a tricky one to call. But as for East Thurrock, they are really poor lately. Despite their massive 4-1 win against Welling, they've had 3 losses in between, a 2-1 win against Chippenham too. So they are inconsistent. They could surely say they started to revive things a little bit, because Welling did rest players a lot. But Steve King did say he wasn't happy with the result at all for Welling. But the last time these two sides met was back at Rookery Hill, and East Thurrock went up 2-1 winners after a really late show. Danilo Dorsey gave Hungerford the lead 4 minutes before half time, but Charlie Ten Grottenhouse, the former Hampton player, was sent off 5 minutes before the end of the game, which gave the Rocks confidence, and Roman Michael Purcell in the 90th minute looked to score what looked to be an equaliser and a late smash and grab for East Thurrock. However, the late show happened from Scott Sheehan in the 93rd minute, still the points from Hungerford, gave East Thurrock a massive win, which looked to be, but obviously it hasn't been enough as they have gone down. But it's a tricky one to call, because East Thurrock have started to show up a lot lately, and looks like that win would give them confidence, but they have gone down. I've got a feeling their players could be a bit downbeat now, and I think Hungerford will get the win they'll need. I think it will send Truro down in the process too. I think Hungerford will just edge this one out 2-1, meaning they won't have enough to start and sending Truro down in the process. Another game massive for the playoff race is between Oxford City and Dartford. So Oxford have nothing to play for, whilst in contrast the visitors, like the Chippenham Chelmsford game, the visitors do have a lot to play for. Dartford still need the playoffs, however it isn't in their hands, but anything could happen in this match day. It's unbelievable what could happen. Dartford are on 64 points, they are a point outside the last playoff place, Billericay, but it will be Concord, so anything could happen. Then you only need the points to get the victory. Oxford are in 13th or 53, nothing to play for. They can't go anywhere. Can't go any higher either. So the last 5 games for Oxford have been 3 losses and 2 wins. The losses coming at Bath, home to Slough, and away at Chelmsford, and the 2 wins coming away at Concord and home to Hemel. Dartford's last 5 have been really poor, but they did get a massive win against Billericay to keep their chances alive last time out. But before that, there were 3 losses and a draw. And the last time these two sides met was at Princes Park back in November. Dartford ran out 3-2 winners thanks to goals from Coker, Winter, putting them 2 up. Ulster did reduce the deficit for Oxford 2 minutes after Dartford got their second, but Charlie Sheringham did make it 3-1 on the 30th minute, giving Dartford a little bit of leeway and a bit of a comfortable margin going into the second half. But it was Zach McEachran, who I believe is Josh McEachran's brother, who reduced the deficit on the 73rd minute, making it in for a tough and tense ending for Dartford, but they did hold on and get the 3 points. So for this one, I think Dartford will edge it. I don't think Oxford will make it easy, but I think Dartford will edge it, and it may be enough to get them into the playoffs, but it'll depend on the other results. I think Dartford will win this one 1-0, and then we'll have to rely on other results to see whether they make. The next game to take place is between St Albans City and Torquay United. So the champions, who visit Clarence Park with nothing to play for now, as they are confirmed champions, they have lost their last 2, so there could be a hint that they could be resting more players, which would do a lot of teams a favour, including St Albans. So St Albans could take advantage of this. It'll be a big, I would anticipate it'll be a big crowd at Clarence Park as well, packed into the terraces behind the goals. The last 5 games to St Albans have been just 1 loss coming from their last 5, so they have started to show brilliant form at the right time of the season, despite the fact they did lose last time out. They'll be happy with their form was going, they're happy with the form was going. They did, I believe, lose the Hertfordshire Senior Cup to Bournemouth in the week, which wasn't the great result, but they could be proud of the way they performed against the team in the division above. They've had 3 wins in the draw before that loss as well. Torquay have lost their last 2 games since they're becoming champions, but they won't be too downbeat by that. Eastbourne have won. Eastbourne game was the decisive one, which won in the league. There's 2 wins and the draw coming before the 2 losses today as well. And the last time these two sides met was back early on in the season, and Torquay went out 4-1 winners emphatically at Playmore. Jamie Reid got the things rolling in the 6th minute, but Clovis Camjo did equalise 3 minutes after. but a Tom Bender and goal on the 14th minute gave Torquay the advantage going into the break. And then 2 goals in the 2 second half minutes from Jamie Reid and Jamie Andrews made it 4-1 for Torquay, giving them a comfortable margin and securing all 3 points to them, giving a massive goal in that upheaval up to the table, which was a big turning point in their revival under new manager Gary Johnson. And tricky one to call because you never know whether they could be resting players or not. I think St Albans will want it because they'll have to be wanting it, because they'll have to come up fighting because they're going to be going for the playoffs. And I think St Albans may nick it here. I think it'll be high. I'll have a high scoring. I think it'll be a high scoring game. I think Torquay may put out a strong side despite this for the last game of the season, but I think St Albans may just nick it 3-2 and could be enough to give them a playoff spot depending on other results. The next game to take place is between Truro City and Slough Town. So obviously Truro are desperate for the points in order to stay up, but obviously as I predicted in my Hungerford one, I don't think they will do it, which is a shame because I do mind them. I prefer them to stay up over Hungerford, but I don't think they'll be enough because just a Hungerford win will throw Truro out of the equation completely. So it will be a shame. I think I do kind of see Truro going down, which is a shame. But despite this, Truro sit in 20th place, occupying the last relegation spot on 38 points, and Slough, who did have an outside chance of the playoffs before the news today, means they can't do it now because Concord will be taken as a 7th place team. They're on 62 points from in 11th place, so they're now cannot make the playoffs no matter what. Truro's last 5 games is without a win in it. They've drawn 3 and lost 2 under Paul Wilkinson's reign, who started recently as well. So Paul Wilkinson is still yet to get a win. And Slough are unbeaten in their last 5 with 3 wins and 2 draws, so they're definitely in a lot better form than the home team are. And the last time these two sides met was at Arbor Park back in early on in the season in December, and it was actually the away side who ran up 2-1 winners. Despite this, it was Dobson that gave Slough the lead just 4 minutes in, but then 2 goals, liquefied goals from Luke Rooney in the 27th and 45th minute sealed the win for Truro and a massive 3 points to them, taking them back to Cornwall. But they've got themselves in a bad situation. But despite this, I think Truro will win 1-0, but I don't think it'll be enough because I think Hungerford will win 2. But I think Truro will just edge this one 1-0, but despite this, it will be enough and they will still drop down. The next game to take place is between Wealdstone and Hempstead Town. So the Stones still in with a chance at the playoffs as they're just 2 points off it in 10th place. Occupying the final spot is Billericay in the 7th on 65. So Wealdstone will be desperate for the points, just try and sneak in, but they'll have to rely on other results too. While it's in contrast, their visitors, Hemel, sit in 48th place, sitting on 48 points in 16th place, hoping to finish as high as possible, which is 14th, but they won't be able to finish any lower, so it's been a dodgy season for them. They'll want to get the season over and done with ASAP pretty much. Wealdstone's last 5 games have been 2 wins and 3 losses, so very inconsistent, but they did look a lot better in that Chelmsford away victory last time out. It was a bit of a revival for them, or just still give them a chance of getting into the playoffs, but their visitors are in really poor form. They've got 3 losses, a draw and a win from their last 5. They can't get any consistency together whatsoever. And the last time these two sides met was back early on in the season in November, as a David Pratt goal in the 33rd minute was the only goal of the game, which gave Wealdstone 3 points at Vauxhall Road, taking them back to North London, and it was enough to do so. For this game, however, I think Hemel just don't look like they can get any sort of result lately, and I think Wealdstone will be comfortable with it, and I think they'll win 2-0. But depending on whether they'll get in the playoffs is on other results. But I think it'll be 2-0 to Wealdstone, and they'll have to wait on other results to see whether they get into the playoffs or not. The next game involves my team, Hampton and Richmond Borough, as we go away to Welling United. So this would be a tough game for us, but our away form has been much better than our home form recently, and even though Welling have not got anything else to play for really, they can't go any higher than 3rd or any lower than 3rd, so they will possibly rest players that they did at each side, which could give us a chance of getting a result, which would be nice to end the season on a good high, but it still will be tough nonetheless. So we currently sit at 14 from 49, and as I said, Welling are 3rd on 73, not going to finish any higher or lower. Welling's last 5 games are despite that just dreadful performance at Thurrock at away, were obviously 2 losses and 3 wins. So despite their loss, they were in fairly good form, but we are in good form as well. Really, we've gone on a 4-game unbeaten streak, and before that was that obviously terrible loss at home to Hungerford. And the last time we actually met was at Hampton. We actually early in the season we actually managed to beat them fairly comfortably as well. Dixon got on the stroke of half time after the keeper did drop it in his path, and Dixon headed from the corner, made it 2-0 early in the second half in the 54th minute. But despite this, we were fairly comfortable, and it was a Danny Moore's header that scrambled in eventually that reduced the deficit, made for a nervy ending, but we managed to hold on for a good 3 points, and it was was a good performance from us then. It was more of one of the better performances we had under that dodgy spell. But can we win again here? I think we can. I think we will come out through it wanting to play for pride on the last game of the season, give the fans somewhere to cheer for, and I think we'll win 2-1. Giving a good away performance, good account of ourselves, going into next season in the close season on a positive note, and to end the season on a high. The penultimate game of the weekend is between Weston-super-Mare and Dulwich Hamlet. So already relegated Weston don't have a lot to play for now, but they have been playing some brilliant football lately, even though they have been all but relegated. They showed great fight, and I think they are going to overtake Thurrock as well by the end of the weekend's fixtures. Dulwich do also have nothing to play for. They can only finish as high as 14th and as low as 16th, so not much to play for really, just finishing as high as possible. They won 48 points in 15th, and the form-wise over the last 5 games, Weston have been inconsistent, but they have shown spirit and fight in those games. 3 wins and 2 losses have come in it, and Dulwich's form has been 1 loss, 3 wins and a draw, so it's fairly similar if you think about it. Both teams only won 3 of the last 5, both teams not won in there's other 2 too, so it's a tricky one to call. But the last time these 2 sides met, back early on in the season, played an unbelievable game. 3-3 draw, and it was Vose that gave Dulwich a lead in the 9th minute before Giffen Hill equalised for Dulwich in the 27th. But second half goals from Nathan Ferguson in the 49th and a 52nd Ashley Curry penalty put Dulwich in good control of the game, but a Jamie Lucas late show in the 81st and 84th minute turned the game back level, and Weston nicked a point and took a point back to Somerset. Played out an unbelievable game. Great entertainment for the fans inside what would have been in Imperial Fields at the time, but great entertainment nonetheless. This game, however, I think Weston are going to win. I'm going to call it, they're going to win again and give their home fans a last brilliant sending off, something to cheer for going into the summer. Confidence they can get promoted back again from the Southern South next season, and I think they'll just nick it against Dulwich 2-1. I think it'll give their fans something to cheer for and something to go away happy for going into the end of the season. And the final game of the weekend and the final game of the regular season is between Woking and Gloucester City. So again, both sides have nothing to play for. Woking are going to finish second no matter what playoffs it is going to be for them. Gloucester confirmed their safety last time out. They can't finish any higher, but they can finish as low as 19th. So they want to finish as high as they can, obviously, but it's going to be a tough game away at Woking, even though Woking's form was dodgy recently, but they did put that to bed with a great victory away at Dulwich last time out. Gloucester have won 2 games in a row, which confirmed their safety and put them in a good position. And before that, they did win at Eastbourne, winning, so we've won 3 of their last 5, only losing 2. The last time they met was away at Evesham in November. Woking edged out 4-3 winners in an unbelievably entertaining game. Max Kretschmer gave Woking the lead in the 31st minute, but Gloucester completely turned it around thanks to goals from Jamie Jackson in the 35th, a Ben Going own goal 3 minutes after, and Jamie Jackson striking again in the 44th minute, putting Gloucester 3-1 up. But just straight away, Woking went up the other end, won a penalty, Joe Card buried it, making it 3-2 on the stroke of half time after an unbelievable first half. The second half was fairly lacklustre and stayed that way until the 87th minute when Max Kretschmer equalised for Woking, and then in the 94th minute Jack Cook unbelievably bundled home in the 94th minute, sending the away fans into raptures on a Tuesday night, which was unbelievable. I shouldn't believe it was a Wednesday night, to give the Woking travelling faithful, sending them in absolute raptures, getting a smash and grab after an absolutely unbelievable encounter, and yeah, massive 3 points that was for Woking done. But this game's going to be tough for them, but I still think Woking will have just about enough quality going into the playoffs. They look like their form's going up a little bit, and I think they will just edge this one out 1-0, sending them the home fans, giving them confidence they can get something in the playoffs, and yeah, giving them confidence they can actually win the playoffs and get promoted with Torquay. And that's about it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Turn the thumbs up button, like the thumbs button, turn notifications on if you enjoyed. Any questions you have, leave them below. I'll leave the fixtures down below too, so you can easily go and predict your thoughts on the games below. Leave them down below too. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you all for my next video very, very soon. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all then. in November. Woking edged out 4-3 winners in an unbelievably entertaining game. Max Kretschmer gave Woking the lead in the 31st minute, but Gloucester completely turned it around thanks to goals from Jamie Jackson in the 35th, a Ben Going own goal 3 minutes after, and Jamie Jackson striking again in the 44th minute, putting Gloucester 3-1 up. But just straight away, Woking went up the other end, won a penalty, Joe Card buried it, making it 3-2 on the stroke of half time after an unbelievable first half. The second half was fairly lacklustre and stayed that way until the 87th minute when Max Kretschmer equalised for Woking, and then in the 94th minute Jack Cook unbelievably bundled home in the 94th minute, sending the away fans into raptures on a Tuesday night, which was unbelievable. I shouldn't believe it was a Wednesday night, to give the Woking travelling faithful, sending them in absolute raptures, getting a smash and grab after an absolutely unbelievable encounter. And yeah, massive 3 points that was for Woking done. But this game's going to be tough for them, but I still think Woking will have just about enough quality going into the playoffs. They look like their form's going up a bit, and I think they will just edge this one out 1-0, sending them the home fans, giving them confidence they can get something in the playoffs, and yeah, giving them confidence they can actually win the playoffs and get promoted with Torquay. And that's about it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Turn the thumbs up button, like the thumbs button, turn notifications on if you enjoyed. Any questions you have, leave them below. I'll leave the fixtures down below too, so you can easily go and predict your thoughts on the games below. Leave them down below too. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you all for my next video very, very soon. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all then.